Say what you will, but the only thing more interesting than the Yellowstone universe is the fan theories about it. We don't know about you, but we're always looking for them. And since everybody and their brother seems to have a theory about what's to come, we're rarely disappointed. Speaking of, a fan theory concerning Jamie Dutton is doing the rounds on Reddit these days. Let's look at the details and then some, shall we? First things first, a fan thinks Jamie could be a biological Dutton. Taylor Sheridan obviously works hard, but a few fans work harder. How else do you expect us to explain all these intriguing theories they come up with? That being said, a Redditor who goes by @CelinIris_Inc. thinks that even though John Dutton adopted Jamie as a child, he may be a biological Dutton after all. They argue that his mother Phyllis was from Spencer's line. To elaborate, her father Michael Dutton could be Spencer's son with Alex. They think that this may be why Jamie is called James Michael Dutton. Not just that, they think that this is why Garrett Randall kept repeating that the Duttons had robbed Jamie of his birthright. Confused? Allow us to explain. As of now, as John's adopted son, Jamie is relegated. But if this theory proves true, he'll stand in for his mother and has more rights to the ranch than Casey and Beth. They also went on to say that John's scared of Jamie because he may be aware of this fact. Moreover, they also think Jamie isn't as stupid as he looks in their opinion. He's actually playing all sides to secure the Dutton land by farming Sarah and company for what will be the attempted murders of Beth and John. It might seem far-fetched, but they made a good point about Garrett's constant allusions to Jamie's birthright. This reminds us that there was another post where they provided more context for the theory. Let's check it out. Let's also look into their second update. In a follow-up comment, the user explained that when John says, "If not for the promise I made to your mother," during one of the duo's fights at the club, he doesn't mean Evelyn. As a matter of fact, it must be a promise that he made to Phyllis, because from how they see it, he must have been really close to Phyllis at one point. As far as they're concerned, John's comment that "we all begged her not to go" when Jamie confronts him about being adopted was actually about Phyllis leaving with Garrett. So there you have it. For those of you who are thinking that this storyline is way too complex to be true, you're not the only one. Several fans in the comments pointed out how it'd be a little out of character for Sheridan, who seems to have phoned things in the past 2 seasons. Well, what can we say but to each their own? Coming up, why John Dutton likes Jamie. Aside from the idea that John despises Jamie because he may be a true Dutton, let's check out a few more reasons why there's so much tension between the two characters. While we're at it, let's explore why the rest of the Duttons don't trust him. To begin with, John and Jamie don't just get along because they view life differently. This not only leads them to argue, but also to work against each other. The second reason, and if we were to ignore the theory for a while, could be that he is adopted and not a true-blooded Dutton. As for why his adoptive siblings despise him, it's simple. Since he escaped unscathed from Riggins' attack on the Duttons, they, especially Beth, have started to think that he had a hand in it. Moreover, John might have also not liked Jamie due to the time he ran against his attorney general pick, or the time that he revealed a few of the ranch's secrets in an interview. He did cover them up, but that was a horrible thing for him to do. He made his father look bad. Additionally, the fact that he runs against him for the position of Montana's governor also leads John to hate him. All in all, John's disdain is justified for several reasons. We're sorry, Jamie Dutton fans, but we've got to call a spade a spade. Moving on, Casey may be a ghost. Now that we've gotten the new Jamie theory, let's revisit some of the older, more bizarre ones. Let's begin with a theory thrown out there back in 2021 at the time of the 4th season. In case you guys don't remember, it suggested that Casey was, in fact, dead and only part of John's imagination. While the theory sounded crazy initially, it didn't seem so far-fetched once everybody gave it some thought. In season 3 of the show, it appeared that Casey had died in a shootout. However, in a subsequent episode, he reappeared in camouflage and was only seen speaking with John. He was later observed taking on a sniper position. As cool as a plot point like this would have been, fans were quick to poke holes in it. Simply put, Casey was seen speaking to Rip in a scene with Travis, meaning that he was still alive and well. Anywho, even it turned out to be untrue. It was one of the most intriguing connections that fans had ever made. Up next, Ennis is related to Jimmy. Some theories suggest that Rip and Beth might have a miracle baby, or that John might sell the property to the Broken Rock tribe, and then some some might say that Monica was behind the explosions, but the theory that we're about to share with you all spans generations. Yes, you heard that right, generations. And get this, we learned about it from Eric Nelson, who plays the late great Ennis in 1883. Briefly, the theory goes that he's Yellowstone's Jimmy Herdstorm's great-great-grandfather. Weirdly enough, fans reached this conclusion because, as Nelson also revealed in a Newsweek interview, the two actors were being paired in Ram truck commercials together. For those of you who didn't know, they were invited to speak about their experiences while filming their respective shows. As a result, fans thought it was a way of later revealing that the two were related. While Eric thinks it's a cool conclusion, he's assured us that it's only a fan idea. Sorry to burst your bubble, you guys. Let's also talk about theories about who will die next. Forgive us if we're spoiling the new season for you, but the first batch of episodes ended up with the formation of two opposing camps. We've got John and Beth on one hand and Jamie and Sarah on the other. And admit it or not, these rivalries have now come to a point where the only option is for one camp to kill the other. Simply put, the show is now set up for an endgame. Now, fans of the show, like everything else, have theories about the sequence of this endgame as well. And guess what? According to them, aside from Beth and Jamie, it will also involve some peripheral pieces like Rip and Summer. A Reddit user, for example, thinks that since Summer is stuck on house arrest, a hitman will confuse her for Beth and kill her. Another user, using Anton Chekhov's theatrical style, suggested that since all elements in a story ought to be used, Summer's got to fulfill some purpose, and being killed in Beth's place is her purpose. With the help of the same argument, a user explained that Beth might use Rip to kill Jamie. Contrary to all of these theories, there's also a group of fans who think that John might stop all of the killings by dying himself. All in all, fans are hoping the show ends on anything other than a dinner scene. Not to mention, fans theorize about who'll end up with the ranch. Another endgame-related theory we'd like to discuss is that Jamie will be the final victor. They argue that since it's Jamie that everybody turns to when they need to be bailed out, or the one who knows all their secrets, he's got enough legal power to run them if he pushed to the edge and keeps the land to himself. And guess what? This theory isn't only psychologically compelling. There's also sufficient foreshadowing to back things up. Jamie's name is a variation of that of James Dutton, the great-great-grandfather of John Dutton, from 1883. This had led fans to speculate that Jamie's son, also named James, could complete the story arc. Simply put, Jamie might inherit the land, and then Jamie's son might give the land away, fulfilling, as some of you might know, a promise James from 1883 had made to the native tribe that had allowed him to settle. If we remember correctly, it was that they'd be back for it in 7 generations. Additionally, fans think that John's recent decisions have put the ranch at risk for a takeover. So if Jamie were to pull a few legal tricks, he might own the ranch. As for Casey and Beth, you'll have to agree that Beth's on the path to self-destruction, and Casey plans to forge a separate track for himself. Last but not least, how John and Rainwater may be related. Another weird theory we couldn't help but mention was that the show's two biggest rivals might be related. We're talking about none other than John and Chief Rainwater. As far as we know, this theory stemmed from the two characters' relentless passion for the land. Fans think it'll be used somewhere down the line, and an iconic twist of fate to reveal the two as half-brothers. Fans are looking forward to something of this sort because it'd be a great way to explore the Chief's backstory in great detail. That's a wrap for this video. Do you have any theories of your own? Are you excited about the next batch of episodes? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.